Hi, Alan Stratton from As Wood Turns. I'm on my way to the Utah Woodturning Symposium, but still need to finish this video. A friend gave me a lot of cherry wood to turn with, and I need to turn a bowl in appreciation for it. So, let's turn a bowl for Mary Lou Ryrie, a green bowl out of cherry wood.
This is cherry, nice and green and very wet. This block is from the trunk that was about 20 inches in diameter. In the round and next to the area of this bowl was an interesting void, a hole about 2 inches in diameter and about 4 to 5 inches deep. I could not see a way of incorporating this void into the bowl, so I had to cut around it. I mounted the bowl on a spur drive center and a live center for rough turning. Here I used my favorite large bowl gouge with a 40/40 grind. Of course, the first task is to turn the bowl blank round. This is the work before the fun begins. This cherry smells good, somewhat sweet. The major dimensions are determined by the bowl blank. Therefore, this will be a somewhat taller bowl for the width. I want a small base with a smooth curve up to the top. For the exterior, I'm holding the gouge with the bevel pointed in the direction I want to cut. My thumb is in the flute. My fingers are wrapped under and around the gouge, putting pressure directly downward. My right hand is at the back of the handle, controlling the angle of the bevel, the angle of the gouge, the openness of the flute, and the pressure to make the cut. I'm still practicing getting my gouge to cut smoothly and evenly. I'm improving, but still a ways to go. I'm aiming for a small tenon on which to mount the bowl. Following Richard Raffin's recommendation, I'll integrate the tenon into the design of the bowl's base. The tenon needs to be as small as possible and still fit into the jaws of the scroll chuck. For me, this is just a little over 2 inches in diameter. Just in case, I'll also cut another backup groove a little higher that could be used to remount the bowl in case of disaster. Now with the exterior roughed out, it's time to flip the bowl around and mount it into the scroll chuck jaws. Since I'm not going to waste away the mounting tenon, I'll insert a small piece of very thin plastic between the jaws and the wood to prevent staining. I'll start with the tailstock in place while I true up the exterior again, then push the tailstock out of the way onto its cart. Now to hollow out the interior. The first 3 to 4 inches is very easy and fun. The wood is fresh, easy to cut. If I slip a little, it's okay just to trim the lip just a little bit more to cover. This is where for me the shavings really fly. The wood is wet and soft and the tool rest is close. Near the lip, the trick is to keep the bevel of the gouge exactly parallel to the outer profile and the flute closed, meaning the two opposite edges are exactly vertical. My thumb positions the gouge. After starting the cut, then the flute can be opened a little. This bowl is fairly deep. So again, borrowing from Richard Raffin, I decided to use scrapers to complete the hollowing. Right now, the only heavy deep scraper that I have is a carbide tool. I used a squarish carbide cutter to go after the bottom. With the heavy wood removal finished, I then switched to a round carbide cutter to refine the bottom and sides of the bowl. I have a bottom gouge on order, but it will not arrive for a few weeks. I should have hollowed the upper section of the bowl a little more because the vibration in that area became a problem. To try to offset the vibration, I took the cutter into a shear scraping attitude on the inner sides of the bowl. I stopped the lathe many times to feel the inside of the bowl for any bumps and valleys and then attack those areas with the cutter. Then I power sanded the interior and exterior of the bowl and oiled it with walnut oil. After finishing, I inverted the bowl onto an MDF cone that was mounted on the chuck with the tailstock holding the bowl in place. This gave me the opportunity to refine the base just a little. Then after a little more sanding and finishing, I removed the bowl from the lathe. Then I used a sanding pad in the drill press to remove the last of the nubbin, and signed it with a vibrating tool. And voila! A nice cherry bowl, turned all at once from green wood. It will warp some, but that will be character. Since it is still wet, I have advised Mary Lou to keep it in a paper bag for several weeks to moderate how fast it dries. Let's hope for no cracks. Please subscribe to my channel and visit my website at aswoodturns.com. Until the next video, this is Alan Stratton from aswoodturns.com.